Have you ever thought about intermittent fasting, but you don't know how to get started? You don't know what you can eat and drink during your eating and fasting windows, and it all seems very overwhelming? Well, no fear. I'm here today to talk about how to get started with fasting, what you can eat or drink when you're practicing intermittent fasting, how to start a fast, how to break a fast, and as a bonus, I'll be giving you some tips on how to deal with the inevitable mind-effing cravings that you may have to deal with as your body starts to get used to this actually pretty simple way of eating, of elevating your health. So stick around to the end for those really important and really helpful tips. You can do this, and I'm gonna show you how.
Hey, feeling good, like I should.
Hey there, my name is Nikki, and if you're new to my channel, welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. I love making videos about the science behind health and wellness, and I like creating a bridge between science research and everyday people. I have a degree in microbiology and molecular genetics from UCLA, and currently I'm a stay-at-home parent trying to get this new channel off the ground so I can finally pull my own weight around here. So if you like what you learned today, help a sister out and subscribe, and then watch all of my videos like 5 or 6 times. My goal is to get better at helping people understand science and therefore take control of their own health, and get 1,000 subscribers by my 48th birthday. Wish me luck. If you're not new, welcome back. I appreciate you more than I can say. So, fasting. It's hard at the beginning, but there are so many good things that are happening in your body when you fast. I've actually made a video about it, so make sure you check it out. It'll give you a clear understanding of the health benefits of fasting, what's happening at different stages of a fast, and it also covers topics like who shouldn't fast. There are certain medical conditions that preclude one from fasting, so always consult your doctor before doing something new and drastic with your diet, especially if you have some sort of medical condition that might not jive with fasting. And even if you don't have a medical condition, you should still consult a doctor. I'm not a doctor and I don't know you, man, so get yourself to a medical professional. Assuming that you've watched that video and already know some of the surface level reasons to start fasting, and you've decided that this is a safe thing to try, let's start with how to start. That's it. Congratulations, you've started fasting. But wait, to help you actually have a successful fast, we need to take a step back because we need to make sure that the last thing you eat before you fast is healthy. Like, don't eat a bunch of Oreos and cotton candy or something right before a fast. I've done that. Not good. Instead, you want to fill up on fiber-rich foods like oatmeal, almonds, chia seeds, avocados, things like that. Okay, so now you're fasting. There are a number of different fasting plans, and which plan you choose to do is really just up to you and your body and maybe your doctor. In future videos, I plan on talking in more depth about each of the plans, but for now, you can just start fasting however way you want to start. So for me, fasting is easiest when I can be asleep for the majority of it. I do an 18-6 plan where I fast for 18 hours and then I have an eating window of 6 hours. I stop eating around 7 p.m. and then I don't eat again until around 1 p.m. the next day. All right, so now that you're fasting, what can you consume? While you're fasting, you can drink all the water you want, up to 32 ounces per hour. Not only is water calorie-free, it helps with energy, digestive wellness, and hydration. If you're just starting out and you want a little something, a little flavor, you can do lemon water, like 1/4 of a lemon in like an 8-ounce glass of water. The calories are minimal and you get a small dose of vitamin C, which is a strong antioxidant and great for your skin. You can also have plain tea and or coffee, black coffee. Now, I've never been one to drink black coffee, not ever. I'm a little sensitive to caffeine, like paranoia, heart palpitations, that kind of thing if I consume caffeinated coffee, so I usually didn't. Not that I didn't like the taste or anything, especially with some cream and some sugar, but decaf. I was actually more of a tea drinker when I started fasting. Anyway, just plain old black coffee and plain tea. You know, no carbs, no fats or protein that would push your body out of a fasted state. Anything that contains more than a few calories you can't have because it causes an insulin response that would put your body back into a carb utilizing state as opposed to using your fat stores for energy, which is partly why you do a fast in the first place, to burn through your fat stores for energy. Lately in the mornings, I have actually been consuming coffee, decaf, which has maybe 5 to 10% of the caffeine of regular, which is actually just the perfect amount for me. Because research shows that drinking coffee may protect you against developing both Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. And this protective effect is independent of caffeine. I actually use this brand, Kicking Horse Coffee, for my decaf because the caffeine isn't extracted chemically. It's extracted using what's called the Swiss water method, which is much cleaner. I drink it black and it actually tastes pretty decent, and I get a bit of an energy boost from it too. I'll leave a link in the description. For those of you who do drink caffeinated coffee, consider a low-acid organic coffee. I can't speak to how any of these taste, but there are a bunch of reviews on a bunch of different brands on Amazon that you can check out. And you want low-acid coffee, especially if coffee is the first thing you put in your belly after you wake up or after a fast. It shouldn't be, by the way. It should be like a couple glasses of water, like 16 ounces. Have some water waiting on your nightstand so you can drink it right when you wake up. It'll help with the headaches that you might experience when you first start to fast. It'll also help you feel full, and it'll dilute the acidity of the coffee, which will be easier on your stomach. And if you're taking supplements or pills, it's probably better to take them after you've already broken your fast. Some of them may irritate an empty stomach. Some of them also may be enough calories to break your fast. So now you are at the end of your fast and you are starving. I know you want to pig out, but wait. You should probably ease back into eating slowly, especially when you're first starting out. When it comes to what to eat, everyone is different, so what might irritate the stomach of one person after fasting may not irritate the stomach of another person. Some recommendations would be healthy fats like avocados or almonds. You can do some soup with some cooked veggies and some protein. You can do a smoothie. I usually break my fast with a shake, and you can watch this video to see what I put in my shake and why. Sometimes I'll want something savory, so I'll warm up some bone broth and maybe throw in some cooked veggies and some leftover meat. You can get bone broth in most supermarkets, or you can watch this video to see how I make my own bone broth. I used beef in the video, but I also used chicken. The benefit of making your own is you can better control the source of the bones. You can get organic, grass-fed bones at places like Whole Foods. They have these refrigerators at the end of their meat case, and availability varies, but they have things like chicken backs and oxtails, bison bones, beef bones, and you can even get chicken feet sometimes if you ask the butcher. And bone broth is a great source of collagen, so your skin will be the better for it. Anyway, the point is take it slow, and then the longer you've been doing this fasting thing, the better tuned in you'll be to what you should and shouldn't eat to break your fast. At some point, it may not necessarily matter exactly what you eat when you break your fast because your body will be more used to it, and hopefully by then you'll be eating healthier. Like once you've been doing it a while, you can start to clean up your diet little by little, maybe eat a little better than you have been to complement the fast and further optimize the health benefits you're getting from fasting. I wouldn't recommend attempting to completely overhaul your diet and start to fast at the same time. It can be a lot, but once you're pretty acclimated to fasting, you can also do keto or the Mediterranean diet. You can do vegetarianism or veganism or whichever diet you want. Or you can be like me and just try to eat sensibly most of the time and then try not to beat yourself up for eating that fried chicken and or donut every once in a while. It's completely up to you. Okay, so now some extremely helpful bonus tips for surviving the cravings. But before we get to those, if you think that someone else would benefit from this video, please share it. If you like this video, please remember to subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified of new videos. I have so many videos planned about intermittent fasting, and I'm so excited for you to see what's to come. Okay, the cravings. In the beginning, it'll be tough. So here are some tips that could help. Okay, so this is an extremely individual type of endeavor. Everyone's different. Some people can jump into a 16-hour fast right away. I don't know who these people are and if they actually exist. And there are others, me included, who need a little more easing into. You could start by just cutting out a few snacks during the day, like I mentioned earlier, until you've eventually cut out all snacks. And then you can start to slowly increase the time between meals and then eventually work your way up to, let's say, a 12-hour fast. You can stop eating at 7 p.m. and then have breakfast at 7 a.m. Within 8 to 12 hours of fasting, in your liver, you're already starting to convert fatty acids to ketones that your body can use for fuel rather than glucose. And that's good. You're using up your fat stores. The point is, it's completely up to you and within your control how you start this thing. There may be a trial and error aspect of this at the beginning where you need to, switch things around, maybe shift your schedule, maybe fine tune as you go. But once you find a good schedule, stick to it and don't keep changing things around. Fasting is going to be much easier if your fasting times are consistent because your body is going to get used to not expecting food at certain times. The cravings start to go away a bit faster. So really think about this and plan accordingly. Just know yourself and what you're realistically capable of at the beginning so that you can set yourself up for success. So as I mentioned earlier, drink lots of water during your fast. What might be mistaken for hunger could actually be thirst, and actually 40% of people mistake thirst for hunger, and I think a lot of people are actually realizing this. You see people carrying around their fancy water bottles and constantly trying to stay hydrated. Well, they're also making themselves feel less hungry. So drinking water could not only satiate your thirst, it can also satiate what you perceive at that moment to be hunger. A little about hunger. Hunger means that your body is in need of nutrients, fuel. Actual physical hunger, which is dictated by a hormone called ghrelin, sounds like a Lord of the Rings character, manifests itself in irritability, low energy, headaches, grumbling stomach, dizziness, or mood changes. And this is different from psychological hunger, when you're hungry because you're bored or stressed, or just procrastinating, or maybe just out of habit. So to differentiate between the two, here's another tip. When you're feeling hungry, set a timer for 15 minutes and see if your hunger goes away by the time the timer goes off. Waiting a bit may be enough to let the feeling of hunger pass. Better yet, go do something for 15 to 20 minutes just to distract yourself. Take a walk, drink some water, go on a run, run an errand, organize your sock drawer, whatever. The point is, try to keep busy. Along those lines, if you're hungriest in the morning, plan a lot of stuff to do in the morning to distract you. Maybe lift weights, get swole. Maybe focus on something you really like to do. And then each day, the more you listen to your body and start to understand what true hunger feels like, these feelings of hunger are likely to wane. And it'll allow you to increase the time between meals. Having done intermittent fasting for 3 years, I'm now better able to recognize when I'm actually hungry, and I'm not truly hungry that often, even though I'm not eating as much as I once did. You just need to give yourself some time and some understanding. Along with eating fiber-rich foods in the evening, try also having some carbs in the evening if you're doing carbs. It'll make you feel full so that you don't feel like you have to snack beyond the time you've decided to start your fast, because your blood sugar will drop more slowly and while you're sleeping. Now, I'm not saying like a donut, but maybe some whole grain pasta or whole grain bread. Make sure to keep it balanced though with some healthy fats and lean protein, which will help to stabilize your glucose levels. Also, protein has tryptophan in it, which has an easier time getting into the brain when you eat carbs. Now, why is this important? Tryptophan gets converted to serotonin, and serotonin is a hormone that influences your mood. So it'll make you feel good and you'll feel less likely to eat your feelings. Not only that, serotonin gets converted to melatonin, and melatonin is the main sleep hormone, so you'll get a better night's sleep. For more info on the science behind sleep and how to get more, watch my video on the science behind sleep. Okay, here's another one. Brush your teeth right after your morning coffee and right after dinner. I usually brush my teeth after I drink coffee anyway because I don't want coffee breath and I don't want to stain my teeth. And brushing your teeth right after dinner may help to deter you from munching on something before bed. I rely on my inherent laziness being more powerful than my mind-numbing desire to eat. I hope you learned something today that'll make your life healthier. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.